Hi everyone, Nealay Patel here at Jesse James Beads, and I want to welcome you guys to Nealay at Night with me, Nealay Patel. I'm a designer and author, and it is always a great pleasure to bring you fun, cool, and quick projects using Jesse James Beads. If you're not familiar with what Nealay at Night is, it is actually a show that we do here on Facebook Live every Monday and Thursday evenings at 6:30. And I pick out some really great, beautiful beads. Usually they're up to current collections, and I try and do an easy project to show you guys that it is fun and creative and easy to work with, and some of the techniques are familiar, and some things that you will learn along the way that's new and different for you guys, and certainly the design aspect as well. And if you didn't catch the last tutorial that we did, we had a really fun time making some earrings. Check these out. These are some fabulous mixed media earrings. We used all kinds of fun textures and even some soft flex wire, which is one of my favorite things to use, to create these really great braided loops. And we connected some tassels. We did a little bit of crimping. We did all kinds of connecting and loop making that you could possibly do. So these are one of probably my favorite projects that we've done thus far, and I didn't have a specific plan for it, but as you could see in the show, we put it together quite quickly. But in case you missed this tutorial, you could definitely check it out in a couple different places. First is the website. Go to www.jessejamesbeads.com, and in the top menu you'll find a link for all the videos, and the second place is YouTube. So go to youtube.com, search for Jesse James Beads, and certainly you'll find us on there, and please subscribe and destroy the like button if you love all those tutorials. We definitely like to keep things up to date and very fresh off the Nealay table that I have in front of me. So with having said that, I'm excited about tonight's tutorial. I'm going to be using Hills of Taos. So I'm going to actually turn the camera around and show you guys what I'm working with here. I think it's a beautiful collection of blues, lots of pops of red in it, and I am absolutely in love with this one. Blue is actually one of my signature colors that I like to say is my signature color. My soul color. We all have like a color that we gravitate towards, right? Something that really just works for us, and for me, it's always been the teals and turquoises. And this is what you're looking at. So let's talk about some of these. We've got this beautiful strand here. Again, this is Hills of Taos for those of you who are all just tuning in. And this is one of the strands from the bundle. Beautiful, isn't it? You get these cool metal cut beads, beautiful sparkly beads over here on the sides. We get some really great ceramic ones there too. So I really love this strand. I've got it strung actually on some soft flex wire, so you guys will see what I'm going to get up to here in a little bit. But check out this bundle. This one's the smaller mix, and you actually do get these earrings with it too, which I really like. And for me, I like to repurpose old components and turn them into something new. So I haven't quite taken these apart yet, but I will definitely turn it into something a little bit later. But you do get these in the bundle, which I love that. Here's just a few of the beads. I've used up a few of them already within some of my own designs, but you get quite a variety. Look at that. I love this flower. This one's my favorite, I think. Always excited to use these, and I think it's a really great fresh color palette and a real celebration to Georgia O'Keeffe's paintings. So I am super loving it. All right. So let's see what else we can dig up here. I've got this really great cord that I'm using, and this is a fiber cord, you guys. Super sparkly, and I thought, what a great, check this out. This is going to be a great pairing together. I think sparkle is just the right tone to make this an awesome design. So what I was kind of thinking between those two and this is a super cool pendant, and this is sort of a dream catcher / wired component that I'm in love with, and I definitely want to use it on this design. And I've got some mixed mix and match pieces here too that were also in the collection that I really love. So I kind of want to assemble all of this together into a very easy, cool design that can be really worn with anything. So the first thing is, I think what I want to do is cut out my fiber cord first, and just to get it to the length that I want to use it. So let me put these things aside for a second, and let's see. I think I want to make it closer to my neck, and so I'm going to probably trim this maybe closer to 18 inches. By the time the clasp is all set on there, it'll be roughly 19, 20, just depending on how big your clasp is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and I'm just going to use a pair of cutters. Let's see if I've got my fancy Xuron ones. I love these, and Jesse James Beads just ordered some of these, and I'm super thrilled that they're going to be carrying them. So do be on the lookout. They've actually got a double blade in it, so as you can see, it's kind of double layered there. And what that does is that if you're cutting thinner wire, not necessarily this cord, but something much thinner, it actually stays on the plier when you cut it. And so it's not going to flip out or cut your eye or anything crazy. So Xuron really thought about the user end of these pliers, and lucky for us that we get to distribute and let you guys know about how wonderful they are. So I'm just going to cut that, save the rest of that for later for something else, and I think what I want to go ahead and do is attach some end caps. So for this particular cord, we have these really beautiful Tiara cast end caps. Excuse me, I couldn't think of the word. And all you want to do is you just want to grab some E6000. You don't need a whole lot of this at all, you guys. This is like a super industrial strength glue. It could make a mess if you do too much, so what I like to do is keep it minimal. Just a few drops of that in there, and you simply just press and twist. The reason you want to twist it is that it will help to evenly disperse the glue that's within it, but also in case you have some fibers that are sticking out in the cord itself, it'll help to tuck some of those in. So that's a little secret that I'm sharing with you guys of how to attach these fun end caps. There we go. Just a little bit of glue again, and all you do is press gently and twist. You want to allow about 15-20 minutes for this to dry. And another note that you want to take is how the cord is laying flat is where you want the little holes to stick out. So for example, if this is laying flat here, you don't want your hole to stick up because that's going to be a weird connection. So you do want to make sure that it is parallel to your table whenever you are drying it. There we go. So that all looks wonderful, and it's all laying flat. So now I'm going to move it up. And the first thing I want to do is attach the strand to it. So as you can see, I kind of pre-strung this just to move the video along. Sort of like having a cake underneath the shelf there during a live TV show. I'm trying to screw this cap on. You don't want this stuff to dry on the cap part, that's for sure. I've had to dig it out with many pins and other things before, sharp objects, to get the glue to work again. So be sure to put the cap back on. What I want to do is layer this, and I want to have a little bit of this sticking out at the bottom, so that gives me an additional, kind of like a faux double strand almost effect. And once I've kind of determined that style, what I can do is actually, if I had any pins, which I don't think I do, unfortunately, I do have my handy dandy beading awl. What I'm going to do is mark where I have the end of my strands, and so that way I have something kind of more concrete to work with whenever I'm putting the rest of this together. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a beading awl and actually pierce this cord all the way through. That will allow me to pass my head pin through. And from my book, which you guys, Jesse James Beads does have, it's my third installment, my third book, Jewelry Made with Wire and Fiber. Some of these techniques are actually in there, and I know that Jesse James Beads is carrying the book. So in case you're wanting some sort of a more concrete written tutorial, that would be a perfect thing to check out if you'd like to. So So it looks like the other one ends about right here. So again, I'm just going to take my beading awl. And you could even do this. You could even put these both together, measure it. Whoops. Here we go. And simply mark it that way too. Not a big deal at all. The reason I'm using a head pin is because I want this to be extremely discreet and very streamlined. And what I'm going to end up doing is putting a simple loop on those head pins, and I'm going to then crimp directly onto that, or attach it in this case, since I have the loop created here on the one side. And that'll give me my double layered effect that I'm looking for. So now that I have it marked, I'm going to go ahead and crimp this strand, and all I'm going to do that is just simply cut some of the wire. I'm using this gorgeous champagne colored soft flex wire with the Hills of Taos strand. Beautiful complement. It's a more expensive is not the right word, maybe premium wire. I think I like to categorize it as that. And a crimp here somewhere. There it is. Softflex is, to me, one of the best brands I've ever gotten to know and work with, and their products are just as outstanding as their company. And again, lucky for us that Jesse James Beads is also carrying the wire, and I'm a huge fan of theirs, so I can't say enough good things. All I'm doing to crimp it is I'm just going to put a crimp tube on it and then just pass it down through the beads as best as I can. I do want to add a little bit of flexibility to it, so I'm not going to push it completely tight. But I've got a nice little loop there going, and I think that's just big enough for my head pin to go through. So I'm going to grab my crimpers, and I'm just using a pair of Xuron crimpers here, handy dandy. I would definitely highly recommend that these are in your bead toolkit for every purpose that you could think of. I've used these for a multitude of things in the videos, and I enjoy them thoroughly every single time. So then I'm just going to cut it. I could use my wire trimmers that I did earlier, but these are just for my beading wire specifically. You don't want to mix your beading wire with your beading wire cutters with your other cutters, your hard wire cutters. We'll definitely start to wear things down over time. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a simple loop on this. So let me grab some pliers here. Whoops. I'm sure the microphone is picking up every single sound. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and give a sharp angle bend there, and let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and make a simple loop. Well, actually, what I think I'm going to do, just to make this extra secure, is I'm gonna do a wire wrapped loop if I can with this head pin. Again, just to make it super secure that I know that the strand won't come out. And so I just kind of tuck that wire around. I'm gonna actually lift it up. That way I can actually fit this into it, just like that. We have a question on here about wire guardians, and truthfully, I haven't heard of wire guardians since 2002, to be honest. I think that the Softflex coating that it has on it, the nylon coating, is extremely strong, and it would take quite a bit of effort to really wear it down. And in the 10 years plus that I've been doing jewelry making, I definitely know what wire guards are. I just haven't really used any and never found the necessity to either. But that's a great question. I'm glad someone asked that. So let's see. I'm going to then just go ahead and tuck my wire in. And as you can see, guys, it's really, let me turn this around. So I had it backwards. You could see how streamlined that looks. Like you don't really, okay, well, you guys can't see it if I don't put it on camera. But you could see that it's just a simple little connection up there. You don't really have the craziness going on the other side of the head pin there. So that's again why I really like this technique. All right, so I'm going to then go ahead and fold and use my round nose pliers to shape my head pin there to make a wire wrap loop. There we go. And thanks guys for joining me today For those of you who are just now tuning in, we're working with Hills of Taos and making this beautiful fiber cord necklace with it. These are, again, some of my favorite beads because I am a blue kind of guy. And certainly the shapes and styles that are included in the collection are just gorgeous. There we go. I have an array of pliers at my table. Sometimes I just kind of toss things out and use what I can, but I really enjoy these Xuron ones particularly. This one's the thinner nosed one, and as you can see, I can get in there pretty well. So I just made a wire wrap loop, and I'm just going to go ahead and trim it with my cutters. There we go. Beautiful. I'll probably tuck in that wire end a little bit later after the show, but guys, look at that. Isn't that a cool double layered necklace? Now, we're not done yet. We still have that beautiful pendant from earlier. Remember let's see where I put it. Remember this guy? What I want to do is get crazy and put my pendant down there. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to think about, again, my mechanics, and we've been utilizing this really cool head pin technique. So let's try and use that down here as well. All right, so I have the middle measured out here. Let me remove some of my pliers, my smorgasbord of pliers there. And I'm going to try and eyeball the middle of this. It looks like right about here is great. Just going to go ahead and pierce this through. Push it back down carefully. As you can see, I'm using a beading awl to do that. This just allows my head pin to slide through pretty quickly and easily. I think I missed the hole there, though. Let's try that again. There we go. So you can see it just goes right through, just like that. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a little simple loop on that. That'll get me started as far as a connector goes. And then I can start to attach some jump rings and some fun stuff onto it. So you know I love tassels. There's plenty of that in the collections. There are quite a few beads to pick from, so it's sometimes intimidating, but certainly a bunch of choices to work with. I'm going to go ahead and start with doing a wire wrap loop, I think, just to kind of match the style that I have on the sides there. I kind of like the idea of that continuity. I'm going to need another pair of pliers here to make that. Let's see. Here we go. Easy peasy. I'm just going to trim that up now. Perfect. And again, to save us some time here, I'll go back in later and probably tuck in my wire end there, just because I'm one of those that's very compulsive about my jewelry making. It's got to be as perfect as I can get it. But it's hard for me to do it all on camera, right? It takes a little time. So I have this beautiful jump ring here that I'm just going to attach to my wire wrap loop there. Now I can attach my fun little pendant, onto that. And you know what? I have some other stuff that I want to attach, because why not? So actually, before I put this guy in, why don't we put this little guy in? This is also part of the bead bundle. Super cool. Love that. Love that. Love it. Love it. Okay, and then we got this. I just went ahead and attached some components and beads together with this couple of simple loops on either side. And so I'm just going to attach him in there. Very cool and easy, you guys. So now I'll just put my jump ring together here. Let's see what we got. Fun. Ugh, I'm loving this. We got a faux double strand with a drop pendant and some fabulous bead caps. So now, I don't think this is quite done drying yet, and I'm afraid to pull it out. We used E6000 on these bead caps, and we do want to allow it a good solid 15 minutes to dry. So I'm not going to attach my clasp just yet, but certainly you could just use any type of toggle that you have and just attach them with a couple jump rings. So I'll do that in a photo for you guys later, and you could see what I finished tonight for our project. But, okay, let me flip the camera around and I'm going to hold up what I've just made. I thought it was super fun and easy and very stylish, if I do say so myself. So check this out, you guys. Ooh, I didn't have to unstrand any of those beautiful beads. I liked them together the way they were, and we have this really fun little pendant on there. So as you can see, it's makes for a really cool necklace. Something really different and something certainly really stylish, and that is why I do this for you guys. So if you love this tutorial, please check us out on the website. We've got a ton of tutorials on www.jessejamesbeats.com, as well as YouTube. Just go to youtube.com and search for us, Jesse James Beads, and definitely subscribe and like all those videos. Give us hearts, give us thumbs up, give us comments. We love hearing from you guys. And I was perusing through the website today, and I found that they're giving away some check beads, so you might want to check that out. I always like to load up on those in case I need some extra filler beads in there. And if you guys love me, which I hope you do, you could check out my brand, Silver Silk and More. Let me show you why. I have this beautiful knitted wire that I sell. It is all made in the USA. It is a finely knit wire over, this one's called Pearlesque. It's got this beautiful rainbow AB tint, but guys, look, I'm using Jesse James beads. Aren't those just absolutely fabulous? You can make some easy, fun necklaces with this stuff. And if you guys find me on Facebook, Silver Silk and More, you'll see that I also do a ton of tutorials on there too. So check me out. We're both on Instagram as well. But otherwise, you guys, I can't wait till the next tutorial that I do. Again, Nealay at night, every Monday and Thursday at 6:30. Keep it inspirational, keep it fun, and keep it Jesse James Beads. And I will definitely catch you again here soon. Have a fabulous evening. I love all of you.